Okay, we're back for the next quiz. Can't even remember what number it is. Just to give you the scores from the last time. The previous one, it was actually Billy and Margaret had won that one. I give it out because it was Josie and Bill, but it was Billy and Margaret because I hadn't got their scores until a day after. So, right, so the last one scores was John and Dawn had 26. Stevie and Rita had a 24. Jerry had a 24. Billy and Margaret had a 26. And Josie and Bill had a 28. But the winners of the last one was Jean and Davy with a big 29. 29 was a good score. And Corin and Brian had a 21. Andre, 21. Right. I'm going to keep that one for the second one. Okay, we're starting off for round one. And it's going to be, who said the famous quote, Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you. Okay, so who said the famous quote, Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you? Who said that? Wasn't Sherlock Holmes. It's a clue. Right, number 2. Who wrote the book Robinson Crusoe? Who wrote the book Robinson Crusoe? Number 3. Which newspaper had the nickname The Thunderer? Which newspaper had the nickname The Thunderer? Number 4. What was Mother Teresa's actual first name? She wasn't called Teresa. What was Mother Teresa's actual first Christian name? Number 5. Which 19th century English woman campaigned for prison reform? Okay. Number 6. How many players on each side on a polo match? Number 7. Which US president had the middle name of Milhouse? Which US president had the middle name of Milhouse? And the last one in round 1 is, what's a collective name for a group of giraffes? Okay, what's a collective name for a group of giraffes? Right, get them answers down, and I'm going to go over, if you want to go over some of them, we can rewind it or stop it, and I'm going to give you the answers. Who said the famous quote, Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you? It was Alexander Graham Bell. Who wrote the book Robinson Crusoe? Daniel Defoe. And which newspaper had the nickname The Thunderer? The Times. What was Mother Teresa's actual first name or Christian name? It was Agnes. And which 19th century English woman campaigned for prison reform? It was Elizabeth Fry. She used to be on the £10 notes in the reverse, so I have £10 notes or something. How many players on each side in a polo match? There's 4, just 4 on each side. Number 7, which US president had the middle name of Milhouse? It was Richard Nixon. What's the collective name for a group of giraffes? A tar. Right, write them scores down. We're going to go on to the wee, like a dingy bat types. What do you call them? I don't remember what you call them. No. It's not dingbats. It's give you an example. 3BM last week was 3 blind mice, and 7D in a W was 7 days in a week. Okay, so we're going to start off with number 1. SAS of 6p. SAS of 6p. You write them down, because you have to write these down. You'll never remember. Number 2. 2S in a F. 2S in a F. Number 3. 10GB. 10GB. Number 4. Le F5. Le F5. Number 5. This is a tough one. 8E on a P. 8E on a P. Number 6. 9 R B G B. 9 R B G B. Number 7. OC9. OC9. The last one in this round is LS and 2SB. Okay, so it's LS and 2SB. Okay, so write them down and start working them out. Some of them will just jump at you, and some of them you'll have to try and what has 5 and all in it and try and find something that like that. So you can work some of them out, and sometimes it just don't come to you till you hear the answer and you'll think, I should have got that. Right, gonna give the answers, so pause it. Number 1, SAS of 6p. I'm wondering if it should have been SAS of S just, but it's not. It was, I read it was 6p. It's sing a song of sixpence. Sing a song of sixpence. I thought it was sixpence, but I suppose it's the same thing. Number 2, 2S and an F. 2 shillings in a florin. 10 GB, 10 green bottles. Le F5, the famous 5. 8E on a P. I thought this was a hard one all around. Was 8 edges on a pyramid. You've got the base, then you've got the sides, then you've got the point. So it's 8 edges on a pyramid. 99 RBGB. 99 RBGB. 99 red balloons go by. OC9 on cloud 9. And LS and 2SB. Lock, stock and 2 smoking barrels. Okay. Lock, stock and 2 smoking barrels. Right, on to round 3. So we're going to get a wee bit harder now. What is the name for the point at the top of an opened umbrella? So what's the name of the point? When you open an umbrella, what's the point of it called? Number 2. Who wrote the poem Gunga Din? Who wrote the poem Gunga Din? Okay. Number 3. They're traditionally known as Mizaru, M-I-Z-A-R-U, Kikazaru, K-I-K-I-Z-A-R-U, and Iwazaru, I-W-I-Z-A-R-U. How do we better know them as? Okay, so they're traditionally known as Mizaru, Kikazaru, and Iwazaru. How do we better know them as? Number 4. Before Mario from Super Mario was called Mario, what was he originally called? Before he became Super Mario, what was he originally called before he was Mario? He was called something else. Okay, number 5. A horologist makes and repairs what? H-O-R-O-L-O-G-I-S-T. Horologist makes and repairs what? Number 6. The largest waterfall in Europe is where? What country? The largest waterfall in Europe is in which country? And number 7. Which vegetable grows underground on a stem called a stolon? S-T-O-L-O-N, a stolon or a stolon. Number 8. Elsie Lappin and Florian Lindley are the first 2 characters to appear in the first episode of which TV programme? So Elsie Lappin and Florian Lindley are the first 2 characters to appear in the first episode of which TV programme? Right, write them down and pause it because I'm going to give the answers here to round 3. What is the name for the point at the top of an unopened umbrella? It's a ferule, F-E-R-R-U-L-E, a ferule. And who wrote the poem Gunga Din? Rudyard Kipling. And they're traditionally known as Mizaroo, Kikazoo and Awazaroo. And they are the 3 monkeys: hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. And before Mario was Super Mario, he was called what? He was Jumpman. Mario was originally Jumpman in the games. That was with Donkey Kong. I think he appeared in the Donkey Kong franchise. Right, number 5. A horologist makes and repairs clocks. The largest waterfall in Europe is in which country? It's in... I haven't got the answer down, but it's in Norway. It's in Norway. Which vegetable grows underground on a stem called a stolon? They're potatoes. Potatoes. And Elsie Lappin and Florian Lindley are the first 2 characters to appear in the first episode of Coronation Street back in 60 or something. Right, we're going to go to round 4, which is an RB tough one. So it's getting harder, not getting them easy this week because the scores are getting big. Trying to keep them into the mid-20s. Who discovered New Zealand and large parts of Australia on Van Diemen's Land? Who was it discovered it? Did Conor McIntyre played which character in Coronation Street? Conor McIntyre. He played a character in Coronation Street, but who was the character? In 1980, Azaria I can't read my writing. Azaria. In 1980, Azaria Chamberlain hit the news all over the world. By what name did she become known as? Azaria Chamberlain. Okay, so this was on the news for a right while. In 1980, Azaria Chamberlain hit the news all over the world. By what name did she become known as? Number 4. Which UK journalist was released as a hostage in Lebanon in 1991 after being held there for 5 years? Okay, so which UK journalist was released as a hostage in Lebanon in 1991 after being held there for 5 years? Number 5. What was the name of America's first manned space flight program? Okay, what was the name of America's first manned space flight program? Number 6. Which Christmas song asks you to bring us some figgy pudding? Okay, so which Christmas song asks you to bring us some figgy pudding? And number 7. In 2016, which original character was killed off by the makers of the game Cluedo? Okay, so Cluedo always had these 6 characters. There's all the characters, but there was one of them killed off in the last few years to make way for a new character. So who was killed off by the new game of Cluedo in 2016? Number 8. The monotremes are a group of mammals that are defined by which unusual feature? Okay, a monotreme are a group of mammals that are defined by which unusual feature? Okay, so get them answers down, and if you want to pause it or rewind it and go back on some of them, I'm going to give you the answers here. Number 1. Who discovered New Zealand? Large parts of Australia and Van Diemen's Land. It was Abel Tasman. Abel Tasman. Conor McIntyre played which character in Coronation Street? Pat Phelan. Pat Phelan. In 1980, Azaria Chamberlain hit the news all over the world. By what name did she become known as? She became known as the Dingo Baby. Apparently the wee group of dingoes stole her, this wee baby, and they were living out with a pack of dingoes or something. Which UK journalist was released as a hostage in Lebanon in 1991 after being held for 5 years? It wasn't Terry Waite, it was the other one. It was John McCarthy. John McCarthy. What was the name of the America's first manned spaceflight program? It wasn't Apollo, it was Mercury. Mercury. And which Christmas song asks you to bring us some figgy pudding? We wish you a Merry Christmas. In 2016, which original character was killed off by the makers of the game Cluedo? It was Mrs. White. And the monotremes are a group of mammals that are defined by which unusual feature? They lay eggs. Monotremes are the mammals that lay eggs. Right. On to everybody's favourite. It's a music round. The music round. 17, nearly 18. Right, we're on time. Number 1. Heard this at the end of the radio. I have to remember this. Who sang the vocals in Mike Oldfield's hit Moonlight Shadow? Who sang the vocals in Mike Oldfield's hit Moonlight Shadow? Number 2. Which song had the lyrics Tangerine Trees and Marmalade Skies? Okay, which song had the lyrics of Tangerine Trees and Marmalade Skies? Number 3. Who was the oldest member of the Beatles? Who was the oldest member of the Beatles? Number 4. Who wrote the song Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Okay, who wrote the song Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Number 5. Which group who had three UK number 1s in the 60s was named after a John Wayne film? Okay, which group who had 3 number 1 hits in the 60s, the UK, was named after a John Wayne film? Number 6. Which 90s pop group were named after a hit by Bernard Cribbins? Okay, which 90s pop group were named after a hit by Bernard Cribbins? Number 7. According to the lyrics, on what road did Nelly the elephant meet the head of the herd? Okay, according to the lyrics, on what road did Nelly the elephant meet the head of the herd? And the last one in this round. Which actor had a hit with MacArthur Park? Remember Donna Summer had a big hit with it, but there was an actor who had a hit with that there. If you call it a hit, like that was back before Donna Summer. Donna Summer's the best version. Like. Right, get them answers down. I'm going to go back on some of them. Pause it because I'm going to give you the answers to the final round, the music round, and let me know how you all get on. If you go to the top, if you get over 20, you'll get a wee mention. 20 and a half minutes, right? Who sang the vocals to Mike Oldfield's hit Moonlight Shadow? It was Maggie Reilly. Which song had the lyrics Tangerine Trees on Marmalade Skies? It's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Who was the oldest member of the Beatles? It was Ringo Starr. Who wrote the song Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Cole Porter. And which group, who had 3 UK number 1s in the 60s, was named after a John Wayne film? It wasn't True Grit, it was The Searchers. The Searchers. And which 90s pop group were named after a hit by Bernard Cribbins? Right Said Fred. According to the lyrics, on what road did Nellie the Elephant meet the head of the herd? It was the road to Mandalay. And which actor had a hit with MacArthur Park? It was Richard Harris. Okay, folks, hope you enjoyed that there, and let me know how you guys got on. And well done to Gene and Davey for winning last week's one, or last fortnight's one. See if you can do the double next week. See you all soon.